going.
Okay, you're on.
And welcome. Deacon Larry here again. My last video was directed to my parishioners, and several viewers wanted something else besides my name and my age. Well, I've served as a deacon at St. Francis of Assisi Roman Catholic Church in Blairsville, Georgia, it is, for the past 24 years. Rita and I, my wife, we moved from Rochester, New York area to this wonderful place in the mountains. In hindsight, people tell me that was a pretty good move. Well, one viewer asked if a deacon could marry more than once. The answer is no, one time only. Rita and I adhere to the rules of the church. We've been married once for 66 years. God has blessed us with 11 beautiful children. You know, we had to wait for number 11 in order to have a son. We have been graced with 31 grandchildren, 30 great-grandchildren, and 7 great-great-grandchildren, something like that. I have no idea what their names are, and I can't even tell you which of our original 11 they came from. But that's enough about me for now. More to follow. You can interpret that in a couple of different ways. I'll begin today's topic by quoting a passage from St. Francis Paola, who was memorialized at Mass this morning. Saint said, "Put aside your hatred and your animosity. Take pains to refrain from sharp words. If they escape your lips, do not be ashamed to let your lips produce the remedy, since they have caused the wounds. Pardon one another so that later on you will not remember their injury." I have to share with you a personal incident. I was greeting people after Mass, as I normally do, and one fella came up to me, his name was Nick, and he said, "Deacon, I couldn't hear a thing." I said, "You couldn't hear me?" I do have a deep voice. "You couldn't hear me?" I said, "No." I said, "Well, then maybe you ought to need a hearing aid." And he responded, "I have a hearing aid." And I responded, "Then put some batteries in it." Well, he turned and walked away from me. And you know, I couldn't sleep that night. I'd hurt this fella, and I didn't see him again for 2 weeks. And when I did see him, I went up and I said, "Nick, I apologize for what I said to you a couple of weeks ago after Mass." And he said, "What'd you say?" And I repeated the story. And he said, "I thought that was a pretty good line. You should open in Philadelphia in 2 weeks." But you see, the point is, I couldn't let this go unchallenged and ask for forgiveness because I'd hurt someone. That's the way we have to look at the people that we know and our friends and our family. Why is it so, on the other side of the coin, why is it so difficult to forgive someone who has hurt us personally, emotionally, physically? A parent who wasn't there for us during our childhood. Children who placed mom and dad in a nursing home and the only contact they ever made was a Christmas card or a birthday card once a year. And I doubt there's a person seeing this who has not experienced or knows someone close with alcohol or drug abuse in the home. I'm certainly one of them. You see, forgiveness is tough for at least 2 reasons. It's an act of humility to admit that we're wrong. Second, fear that if we offer to forgive, the offer will be rejected. But those are feelings. It seems the last few years, everything is about how we feel. We have to do something about how we feel. But you see, folks, forgiveness is not a feeling, it's a decision. One that has to be made regardless of the outcome. If we can forgive offenses done to us by others, then God will not hold against us the enormous debt we owe Him for the hurt we have caused by our own sins. During these last few days of Lent, we're not able to attend Mass and receive the Eucharist, we have, whether wanted or not, extra time on our hands. Why not search our souls and make a list of those we have harmed through word or action and ask for forgiveness? And if they've already passed on, pray for their souls in purgatory. And I'll share a thought that may help you through the process. The first to apologize is the bravest. The first to forgive is the strongest. And the first to forget is the happiest. And I look forward to your comments. May God bless you in the name of the Father, the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.